Good morning, YouTube. Happy Saturday to all. I wanted to take a couple minutes this morning and share with everybody, our process. And for every single client that we sell leads to and they decide to do our training, we have them sign a non-disclosure agreement. If we go past one lead order, we have them sign a lead service agreement that entails our relationship. And we've been doing that now for years. I would say we're probably one of the only groups out there that's been doing it this long. And I know a lot of people hate signing contracts. They hate signing non-disclosure agreements. But you know what? I've been in this business now 19 years. And as much as I want to believe, in people, sometimes relationships don't last. They start off good and they end up bad. And they typically end up bad because the understanding of what you thought the business was going to be and what it turned into or what it became is totally something different. But I've learned over the years that if you have it in writing, detail, it reduces that type of friction and problems that can arise in business. We're in business. Out of every 10 deals in business, not all of those deals are going to be perfect. It's obvious. But I found that having my clients sign a non-disclosure agreement, having them sign a lead service hold harmless agreement is just the right thing to do to avoid long-term problems. And, for us, we've been doing this for a long, long time. But what happens sometimes is that even when you have this in place, you're going to come across groups that hate the fact that they did sign that agreement with you. They hate the fact that they did sign a lead service agreement with you. But what really pisses them off is that they broke the agreement and now they're not getting the goodies. And I'll give you two examples in our case. Years ago, I had a BPO group that we engaged to do some marketing for us and help us with our telemarketing services. And we signed an agreement. And the agreement stated that they would follow our strategy of lead generation. They would follow TCPA laws. And they would follow DNC laws when it came to telemarketing services. We signed an agreement and we went to work. When these individuals, well, I don't even call them professionals, I'm going to call them borderline thugs. When they started sending us calls, we waited for them to send us some calls to see if they can handle volume, because that's sometimes an issue with these groups. They promise volume and they can't deliver. And when we finally got to a number of phone calls that they had delivered, our staff went to check to verify that those calls were in compliance with our agreement. And in this particular case, this group, what they did is that their DNC system was not in compliance, was not updated, put my company at risk, potential risk, of having a DNC complaint. Luckily for us, anytime we work with a new group, we test them out, we go through this process with them before we even bring them to our mainstream. So when they did that, we presented to them the facts. We again presented to them our agreement. And we told them flat out, we weren't paying them a red cent for what they did. You would think, right, if you have an agreement that lays out the parameters of our relationship and you make a mistake, because we all make mistakes. I've made a shitload of mistakes. That they would have some humility and say, hey, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. But this particular group did not do that. So they decided to start creating fake profiles to character assassinate my company, my name. They hide behind keyboards. They fake who they are to talk crap about us because they know we had a signed agreement, but they're unhappy because we decided not to pay them. Another example, we brought our another BPO group. We trained them. And a lot of these people reach out to me because what they're looking for is distribution. And one thing about my company is we have a lot of clientele, and I'm never calling any of you guys or anybody looking to outsource. You guys call me. So part of our service agreement with our BPO partners and relationships is that you will get an opportunity to talk to our end client, the end user. And part of our agreement also states that regardless of our relationship, in the event we have a dispute, you are not allowed to reach out to our clients and solicit them for business, and much less disparage or make any kind of comments or using third-party influences. And that's happened to us too. And those type of people, not only do we refuse to pay any services when we find out what they've done, but honestly, we will pursue them legally. Why? Because we have these agreements in order. These agreements are valid, US, they're valid in Pakistan, they're valid in Philippines, India, South America. When you sign those agreements in good faith, regardless of where you're at in the world, you are liable. And that's why it's so important to have them in place. You know, these online warriors, as I call them, they do this because they went into an agreement knowing that they were not going to satisfy. They knew that. And when they didn't receive their outcome, they go and play these dirty tactics. I encourage you, if you've ever been in this circumstance, start getting agreements in order. Do not give in to these losers' tactics, because in business, there's courtrooms where we can dispute our differences. Doing it online, being a ghost, doesn't do anything. It just hurts you. Because it doesn't hurt me. Because I'm honest about my contracts. And every single client signs one with us. Period. So I share that with you because a lot of you guys don't understand how we operate, but we've been doing this for many, many years. Our legal representation, works in different countries, and we do this not because we're being litigious, but we're doing this to keep our business going and keep providing a service where our agents don't get sued because you fucked up. So with that said, if you guys have any questions about this, please give me a call. My phone number is 707-900-1411. If you've ever encountered with any of these tactics, please, my barrister in Pakistan and Philippines, these people are very, very savvy. They understand the laws, and you'd be very surprised just how strict it is for these people to go into contract with you only for them to be breaking their agreement with you in a dirty manner. So with that said, God bless you. God bless our business, and see you guys at the top. Peace.